Imagine waking up in a room you've never seen before. The temperature is perfect. Your favorite song is playing in the background. A stack of fluffy pancakes sits on the table, drenched in just the right amount of syrup. Exactly how you like it. No one's around, but everything feels tailored. You'd probably think, someone must have prepared this for me. It's too perfect to be random. That's exactly how many scientists and thinkers feel when they look at our universe. Everything is so precisely calibrated, so perfectly aligned, that it doesn't seem accidental. Welcome to the incredible world of fine-tuning, DNA, morality, and more. The powerful clues that lead many to believe in a creator. Let's dive into the arguments that make people all over the world say, maybe this really isn't all an accident. Let's begin with the fine-tuning of the universe. Our universe runs on a set of highly specific physical laws. Think of them as the unbreakable rules in the ultimate game of cosmic chess. The balance is so precise that even a microscopic tweak would destroy the possibility of life. If gravity were slightly stronger, everything would collapse into a dense mess. If it were weaker, galaxies wouldn't form. The universe would simply fall apart, and you wouldn't be here to enjoy pancakes or complain about Mondays. There are more than 30 constants in physics that must be perfectly aligned for the universe to function. The odds of this happening randomly are 1 in 10 to the 60th power. That's like flipping a coin and landing on heads 60 times in a row. Some suggest maybe we live in just one of millions of universes and got lucky. That's like waking up in a flawless hotel room and assuming there are a million others, but only yours has the perfect playlist and breakfast. Sure, it's possible, but it also sounds like someone is trying very hard not to admit the hotel was prepared ahead of time. Now let's talk about the origin of life. All life as we know it hinges on something unimaginably small yet profoundly complex. DNA. This molecule isn't just a random arrangement of chemicals, it's an incredibly detailed instruction manual that constructs your body, brain, and even your personality. Imagine the most complicated IKEA furniture manual you've ever seen. Now multiply that by 1,000,000,000,000, and you'll still fall short of DNA's complexity. Here's where it gets even more interesting. DNA carries specific information, and information doesn't simply materialize from chaos. Books, computer programs, and languages all come from intelligent sources. So where did the first DNA come from? If you opened a blank Word document and a complete novel appeared without explanation, you wouldn't assume it was written by monkeys typing at random. Real information, especially on the level of DNA, demands an intelligent author. That's why the idea of life forming by pure chance poses such a challenge. Scientists have calculated the odds of a simple life form assembling randomly to be 1 in 10 to the 40,000th power. That's a 1 followed by 40,000 zeros. At that point, even winning the lottery every day for the rest of your life would look easy. Next up, irreducible complexity. Picture a Jenga tower. If you remove just one critical block, the entire thing crumbles. That's exactly how some systems in biology work. Take the human eye, the blood clotting system, or the bacterial flagellum, a microscopic motor that helps bacteria swim. These aren't just complicated systems, they are irreducibly complex, meaning they only function if all their parts are present and working together. Remove one component, and the system doesn't work at all. The bacterial flagellum has a rotor, stator, drive shaft, propeller, and even a clutch. That's right. A bacterium and your car share a surprising mechanical similarity. But if even one part is missing, the flagellum doesn't simply perform poorly. It doesn't perform at all. So how does evolution explain this? Evolution operates step by step, but irreducibly complex systems can't evolve piece by piece. A steering wheel alone is useless without the rest of the car. You can't build a functional motorbike by slowly adding random parts and hoping it magically works one day. The whole system needs to appear all at once, which sounds far more like intelligent design than random mutation. Let's shift our focus to the laws of nature. The universe operates under a strict set of laws: physics, chemistry, thermodynamics, and mathematics. These aren't loose guidelines. They're immovable truths. Gravity always pulls, never pushes. The speed of light is exactly 299,792,458 meters per second. No variations, no sales, no exceptions. Energy can't be created or destroyed. It can only change forms. These laws govern everything, yet they didn't arise from trial and error. Imagine walking into a new country and discovering a well-established legal system. You'd assume someone wrote those laws, not that they randomly appeared. So why do we assume the laws that govern galaxies came from nothing? If your smartphone ran on perfect, bug-free software that never needed updates, you'd immediately suspect a genius created it. That's what the universe is like. Flawless code running perfectly from the start. Scientists like Isaac Newton and Albert Einstein didn't just marvel at the laws of nature. They saw in them the logic and order of a grand designer. It's no stretch to imagine a divine mind writing the laws of reality with perfect precision. Now let's explore morality. Some people believe morality is a human invention, like the rules of monopoly. But that presents a serious problem. If morality is made up, then nothing is truly right or wrong. It's all just opinion. We can all agree that things like murder or stealing are wrong. But if enough people decided otherwise, would those things suddenly become acceptable? That's not how morality works. Its structure and consistency suggest it isn't rooted in opinion, but in something much deeper. Consider rules in a school. They exist because someone made them. Likewise, if moral rules exist, there must be a moral rulemaker. And that leads us to God. Without a higher authority, morality becomes chaos. You could play chess without rules, but it would just be people throwing pieces and claiming they won. Yet morality doesn't work that way. It has rules. It has boundaries. And it points to something greater than ourselves. Let's go even deeper, into consciousness. You've got a 3-pound lump of cells in your head that somehow produces emotions, memories, thoughts, and dreams. It's essentially a biological computer. But here's the kicker. Computers don't dream. They don't imagine. They don't fall in love or write poetry. Consciousness is more than just electricity flowing through neurons. It's awareness. And awareness is hard to explain using only physical matter. The argument from consciousness says, if we were just advanced meat robots, we'd process data without experience, like a search engine, not a human being. But you do feel. You experience life. You remember that embarrassing moment from 2013, and you wonder why mosquitoes exist. Consciousness isn't just physical, it's personal, and many believe it comes from something that transcends physical matter. Something eternal and intelligent. Something that sounds a lot like God. Now comes the cosmological argument. Let's say you're at a party and someone gives you a slice of cake. You ask who made it and they say, no one, it just showed up. That's laughable. Everything we know, cakes, cars, coffee, has a cause. So does the universe. Every effect must have a cause, and if you trace causes back far enough, you need something that started it all. The first domino. A necessary being that exists without being caused. A force powerful enough to create everything out of nothing. This first cause, which lies outside time and space, sounds an awful lot like God. And no, the universe didn't just poof into existence without help. If it had a beginning, it had a beginner. Let's talk about something everyone can relate to. Belief in God across cultures. If one person sees a UFO, maybe they imagined it. If millions around the world across centuries report the same thing, maybe it's worth investigating. Almost every civilization in history has believed in some form of God. Different names, different stories, but the same core idea. Ancient Egyptians, Vikings, Africans, Europeans, even isolated tribes believed in a higher power. They didn't collaborate on a script. The belief simply appeared, again and again. This repeated pattern suggests something more than coincidence. Studies show even people in crisis instinctively pray. It's like our brains come pre-installed with a call God button. And beyond survival, we crave meaning. Not just food or safety, but purpose. That craving may very well point to the reality of what we long for, God. Now we reach the limits of materialism. Materialists argue that love is just chemical reactions in the brain. But try explaining that to your mom after forgetting her birthday. Saying, my love is just oxytocin, won't earn you a hug. Love, joy, beauty, these are more than chemicals doing a dance. They're experiences that feel real, because they are. You look at a sunset and feel awe, not because atoms are arranged nicely, but because beauty speaks to something deeper. Something inside you that isn't made of atoms. If we are only matter, why do we have experiences that transcend matter? The soul, the spirit, whatever you want to call it, it doesn't fit neatly into a test tube. But it exists, and it points to something beyond the material world. Finally, let's talk about prophecies. Imagine applying for a job where you need to fulfill 300 specific qualifications, many of which involve how others treat you, where you're born, and how you die. That's what Jesus fulfilled. The Old Testament listed dozens of prophecies about the Messiah. Jesus checked off a shocking number of them, including being born in Bethlehem, being betrayed for 30 silver coins, and having people gamble for his clothing. You can't stage your birthplace or how soldiers divide your clothes. Even the destruction of cities was predicted in detail. The prophet Ezekiel said Tyre would be flattened and its rubble tossed into the sea. Alexander the Great literally used the debris of Tyre to build a bridge into the sea. Babylon was prophesied to never be rebuilt. Despite Saddam Hussein's attempts, it remains ancient ruins. These fulfilled prophecies aren't lucky guesses. They're fingerprints of a divine scriptwriter, someone who knows how the story ends. So whether it's the precision of the universe, the mystery of consciousness, the foundation of morality, or the fulfillment of ancient prophecies, the evidence stacks up like an overwhelming case in court. The conclusion? Maybe, just maybe, this wasn't all an accident. Maybe there is a creator who set it all in motion, who coded the laws, shaped our souls, and gave us the hunger to search for meaning. If you found this video fascinating and thought-provoking, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more mind-opening content, and check out our other videos for more deep dives into science, faith, and the mysteries of the universe. Thanks for watching.